This thing really sucks, just like your So, on this video, I want to get this thing mechanically sound, running, airbags out, crash module, all that stuff we're going to get into on this one. I just drew a vacuum on the whole system, on the AC system. I'm going to let it sit here for a little bit and make sure it doesn't leak down. And then we'll go ahead and charge it. Only thing is, I only have like 3 partial cans of refrigerant. So, I don't know that I'm going to be able to fill this system. But none of the stores are open right now, and I just went to Walmart and I totally forgot about it. Yeah, I'm real good like that. I did get new oil. I'm gonna do new oil and filter. We'll put that on. We'll get that done now. And as you can see, all our parts fitted up pretty good. I don't have like the grill or these little fog light bezel things clipped in completely. I just kind of like set them in there, because once you clip them in, they're a little bit of a pain to get back out. So I just set them on there for now. Tow hook plug was good off the old bumper. I have this lower grill. I just didn't want to clip it in. And the fog lights are undamaged. So, and I had the one bulb was ripped out of the one, but the housing and everything's fine. So I put a new bulb in it. We're good to go. One thing I want to do before we do get this up and running, didn't even think about that. Let's put the air box back on, because that's probably not going to run right without the mass airflow sensor on there. So let me go ahead and throw this back in. So our gauges have been holding steady for quite some time. Before you say anything, this gauge is off. So, I don't know. I might be able to adjust that. But this one reads 0 when it's about -30. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting a charge into this also while I am running it. So I'm about to start this up. We're going to heat cycle it. We're going to just see how this thing goes. I guess I should put the battery cable on. That helps. So I have the heat running right now. In order to like get air bubbles out of the system, you got to get the hot water going in through the heater core and back out and stuff like that, so you get all those air bubbles out. As you can see, I was burping it. I was just by squeezing the top hose, massaging it every now and then. You can see a bubble come up. Right there went one. Right there's one. There's one. As you go, it'll burp, and just keep working at it. One thing, now that I have it running, I noticed that that idler pulley, well, it's a tensioner pulley. See how the belt is wobbling? That tensioner is bent. So I'm going to grab the one off that engine that I have and throw on here. It's just one thing after another. I'm going to rob off that engine, but in return, then we'll have a good one on there. It's not hurting anything right now, but I think over time you would have an issue. It's nice having actual parts here I can use. I'm also trying to charge the AC. So, working through this can, I need to get the AC on so it starts kicking that in. You normally want to do these one at a time, like your coolant and then your air conditioner, because like right now I have the heat on and it's not warm yet, but I haven't even checked this radio out. This is totally different than the one I had. So now, as you can see, our compressor is spinning. It is taking the refrigerant in. Once this can's empty, I'm going to put another partial can on that I have, and I'm hoping I have enough between. I have 3 cans and they're all partial cans, because when you put a full can on, they normally charge quicker. So that's why I have a couple partial cans. So we'll see how this goes. I'd have to say we got her up to temperature. Got some fumes rising off of that. AC's blowing cold, thankfully. 3 partial cans, which I think I could use a little bit more, but my gauge was showing that it was in the good range. No check engine lights now, and just airbag light. The eyesight fault is gone, so that means every system is functioning the way it's supposed to. Well, we got a good bit of bubbles out. Boy, this hose is warm. I think it'll suck probably the rest of that in. Whew, it's warm. It's warm, boys. When it cools down, it should suck some of that in. Just like the stock stereo in this one is like much nicer than the one that was in mine. It's kind of like the same setup, but it's not. This operating system's different. I don't know if it's like an updated version. This is a year older than mine. Maybe mine was the updated version. Mine sucked. I didn't like it. This one seems pretty nice, and the stereo setup's a lot easier to adjust, and it sounds good. It sounds really good. But I'm just glad to know now we have no check engine lights, no problems, except for airbag light. That's it. So, I thought about bolting the hood on. I'm going to let this thing cool down a little bit. Let me get my gauges off here and stuff, and then maybe we'll get the hood put on here. Oh, we got to change the oil. Let's change the oil. Oh, I also want to add that I did put dye. I put it in the condenser, and I put some PAG oil into the condenser. I didn't see anywhere where it said it was pre-filled, so I added some PAG oil into there. It doesn't hold very much. A certain percentage of it goes into the condenser, so I just added a little bit. Never hurts to add dye in, because if you have a leak, then you'll be able to see it. Alright, the oil's drained out, but while we're down here, let me show you why I think rubberized undercoating is a good thing, but I also don't recommend it, okay? So this whole thing is fairly, look, it's dry, it looks good. The whole underside just had a drip there, that was from the air conditioning. But somebody rubberized undercoated like everything, okay? So it looks decent. But whenever the undercoating gets compromised and stuff gets underneath it, it gets trapped underneath it. Now look at this. I don't know if you noticed this. See, it's flaky. It's because it got compromised right here, and you can see it's coming right off, but that happens. The back is normally worse than the front. So you can see they coated everything. That's forklift damage. I know that. I recognize that anywhere. But it did protect everything back here. And this is what I wanted to say. Here's where all that crash damage was. They actually did a pretty decent job. Like, you look up in there, they actually painted and pulled everything out. And there is some sheet metal screws like holding this plastic piece in. But I don't know why, because there's a hole right there to put the pin in, and it lines right up with, but they still put sheet metal screws in, whatever, for whatever reason they did. But yeah, you can see it's bubbling right here. See that? I just took a chunk off, and there's rust underneath. You see how this is flaky right here? Right here's, look at this rubberized undercoating. So stuff got trapped underneath it, and then you can see the rust because it just keeps it right underneath there and lets, like, it gets, road salt gets in there and gets trapped. Look at this control arm. See how it got in there? Look at all this flakiness. So when I spray this liquid stuff on here, and I'm just going to spray it right over top of this, it can't get trapped underneath it. If it gets underneath it, it's just going to be a small spot where it was chipped off. You will need to touch up areas, but rubberized undercoating protects to some degree. It's just, I don't feel that it is your best option. But like I said, it did protect this car to some degree. I'm imagining that they drove this thing in winter a lot, which is what most Subaru drivers do. Then they rot out. So this still protected it to some degree. Everything looks pretty dang good underneath here. Now these call for about 4.9 quarts of oil. I put 5 quarts in every time. Hey, more bubbles. Oh, there they go. I put 5 quarts in mine all the time. 0.1 quarts of oil over full, it's not going to hurt a thing. So I always just put 5 quarts in. Now, if you'll excuse me, this thing's on service. I got to change that pulley. I already have it off of that engine. Let me just go ahead and throw that on. Alright, so it's been about a week since the last clips, and I just sold my truck. Sold it to somebody I used to work with, so I know it's going to a good place, and he's going to take care of it. Only bad thing about it is, as soon as he got out of town with it, one of the exhaust tips fell off him. So I just ordered him a whole new exhaust system for it, and I offered to pay for part of it to be installed. Anyways, you know I like the DJI cameras. I have DJI drones. This is a DJI Pocket 2 that I'm using, and I just got their action camera. Now this looks kind of funky, but this is like all the modules clipped together. The bottom one is a battery. The middle one is a front-facing screen, and these two right here is what you put the memory card in, and that's what holds the memory. Plus the top is just a camera, and you can disconnect all this. Hold on a minute. Just take it off like that, and it's magnetic. This is just the regular camera right here. Like, it's neat, and it's magnetic, and there's like a headpiece, and it just clips on, and then there's a necklace that you put under your shirt, and then this just sticks to it. This is pretty cool. So the rest of my video, I'm going to try recording with this. So we're going to see how this works out. But the front-facing screen on this thing, freaking nice. So I'm just getting familiar with it right here. The back screen's even really nice, as you can see. But then there's a front-facing screen, so I can record myself and I can see myself. Or you can take this off and just hook the battery to it and then have an extended battery. So it's showing right now that I have 30. Oh, I have it on 60 frames. So 30 minutes? Is that it? Has to be more than that. Alright, so I have 22.4 gigabytes of internal memory, and then I got 60 gigabytes of external memory. And so now I change it. I have 82 minutes that I can record on here. That's pretty neat. So we're going to switch over to this. I hope everything's good, the sound and stuff, but this is their newest Action 2. So let's see how this goes. Alright, so we got a mess here on my new camera here. That's pretty cool. I like it. Huh? So let's get into the interior on this thing. I want to get the seat belts out, crash module, and the airbag. Steering wheel airbag is easy. Disconnect your battery, okay? Let's just go ahead. Let's just do this together. And just, I don't think I tightened it. So, yeah, there you go. Fix that. Just gonna make this simple. We'll just do the steering wheel back now because I've done it several times before. There's a hole right here. And I know these ones are a little bit of a pain. So I gotta dig around in here until it releases. If I remember right, I think I actually used an angled thing on this. Get in! Come loose! And actually, these have a hole on the bottom too. There's 3 of them. So I'm gonna dig around in here and get these off. I'll set the camera up and eventually get this out of here. Now we got that. There's clips. They don't really line up with the holes, okay? The holes that they put in here to get in are right down here, okay? The clip that needs to move is right here. So even when you dig in this hole here, it's hard as heck to even get in there. See, if I, now that I can see it, if you dig up high enough, you got to come up at an angle and then hope, like I'm having trouble getting that thing to even line up. Okay, so when you get the bottom one actually is lined up and it comes out pretty easy. You can pull the steering wheel out enough and you get a flashlight, you can see down in and normally get that right there like that. So that's what I had to do to get this loose because it's just hard. It's hard to even hit those. Knee bags, I've never dealt with one before, but all it is this lower panel, and I'm going to pop this panel off. This panel over here should pop off somewhat. I don't know if it's attached with screws somewhere. Might have it. There's a screw down there at the bottom of that one. There's a screw right here at the bottom of this one. So let me pull those out and then we'll see what we're working with here. Alright, so I could be wrong, but looking at this, I don't see any other hardware except for that 10 and there's another one there, and I don't know if there's a bracket down below. I'm not feeling anything down here. I would imagine there's hardware on the bottom of this too, but I don't know what's coming with the new bags I'm getting. It looks like it's just those brackets. So let me go ahead and unbolt them and we'll see if it comes out. That's it. Right there's the plug. And it don't look like it damaged that plug either. So the plug was not damaged at all. I got it out. And that was a lot easier than I expected it to be. I really didn't think it was just going to be 2 bolts like that. But I guess that's all it is. There's like nothing to these. Never had one blow on me either. Like your mom. Seat belts. So there's 2 down. Both the seat belts are blown. Just like as you can see, it's loose. So this whole side panel is going to have to come off. Start with your trim. Pull these up. The seat, I'm probably going to have to move. I'm going to start tearing this panel apart so I can see what it's like in here. I don't know if this... No, it can't be. Sometimes they'll have, like, the SRS thing will pop out and there'll be a clip or a bolt or something like that. Just take your time. Don't bust your trim up. So, let me start on the driver's side. The passenger side is pulled tight, just like my truck was. And then we'll get to that. Did you see I got a treasure chest in this thing? And by treasures, let me show you guys what I got. I'm not sure if I even showed you guys this. Oh, money? No, it's blank index cards. What? Who carries a little chest with blank I don't know. Anyways. And this is me not saying that they blended right here, but they definitely blended right there. Man, that's a really nice finish. Right there. Oh my god. I'd say right there where they welded in. I also need to take this tail light out because I think it's busted. It's like dirty inside. And yeah, there's like dirt in it. It's not clear at all. Like, do you see there's like spray and stuff inside of that? Look at this one. That's what it's supposed to look like. I guess I gotta order a tail light now. Now you might think you're done at this point. I got the seatbelt. We're good to go. Now, you still need the anchor, which is on the inside of the seat where you click your seatbelt in. They're in different spots on everything. On my truck, it was built into the seat. On the outside, where it clips in at, that's where the anchor is on this one. So this is one of the charged SRS pieces. The other one's going to be where the end clicks into. All right, so there's no charge there. I lied to you guys. So there is not every car has the anchor. Okay, I thought this was one of them. I was wrong, and I will admit that I'm wrong. I want to see if I wire. I have those things I can plug in where the airbags were. I bought plugs. I'm gonna have to dig the ones out of the old airbag. I'm gonna dig them out so I can see if the plugs that I have will fit, and if they do, I'm going to wire them into what's left there, and then I can plug my modules in there that will make it think that there's an airbag in there, and then we'll put everything back in and see what codes come back up. That is, of course, after I finish this side, so I need to get this one out. I might as well put the seat back in, but let me get all my... I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those things. I know I have them. Why do I have spirit fingers right now? Alright, excuse me while I install updates. Okay, but I got the battery hooked back up. Right here's what these things look like. I got a whole bunch of them actually over here. These things are cheap online. These are good for testing an airbag's bad or not. If you unplug it, or like a seatbelt or something, if you unplug it, plug these in, and you can clear the code, then it's more than likely what your problem was. But I like using them for testing. Not for replacing airbags, but yeah. You know what I mean. We're getting a bunch of failures from all kinds of systems. I had the battery disconnected. This is a common thing you might get, or if your battery gets low, you'll have a whole bunch of faults. So I'm gonna let it run through, then I'm gonna clear it, and then we're gonna run the system check again, and we're gonna see what comes back, because I don't for a second believe that we have a transmission failure, brake control system, tire pressure monitor, 7 failures. Yeah, okay, we'll stop right there. All right, so we have it running now. We still did have a transmission one come back, which I think will clear itself once we start moving. AT self-shut relay diagnosis low. Like I said, I think when we drive it, that'll go away. Front impact ignition, that's one that I will not be able to clear. Short in front, left to ground. So we're gonna have to look into that. That might be the crash sensor or something. I don't know how this is even showing up on the screen. Shortened driver's airbag, we know that. Another front impact right, ground. I am going to have the crash module reset, I believe so. I think that's what all of these are going to be. So we'll see what happens. My new airbags will be here next week, but where's the crash module, you may ask? I honestly don't even know. So I'm gonna look it up real quick, and we're gonna find out. I believe this center console is gonna have to come out, but we'll find out. All right, so they make this really convenient and easy. It is like up under the dash right in here. It's not easy. Anyways, get a screwdriver in here, pry this thing down. Then there's a clip in there, pull that out, shifter out. This boot, get a clip in here, pry it up. Then there's a screw right there, which releases this. So now I can get into that, and I don't know where the rest of the screws are. So I'm going to work on this. Looks like this top will pop off, but I need to get this shifter off of here first. So right there, that sucker, put it right here. Woo! Look at that. So start playing with it. I got a screwdriver in there. Look at that. Pop that right off. So that comes out. Oh, it's way easier in this one than the video I watched. Right there it is. That's but to get to it and the plugs, which I have power to it, so I gotta go disconnect the battery first before I even start messing with this. Looks like one main plug, and then 12. Is there a 12 in the back? There's a 12 in the back. There's a nut back in there on that side. Is there one on this side? Yes, there's two in the very back. And oh man. Anyways, there's a screw there and a screw there, which should take these side panels off, which should help with this. But it don't look like it's much easier. I also know that these radios come out fairly easy. Okay, make a liar out of me. I don't recommend using a straight screwdriver. There we go. Once stereo's out, I bet you I could get down through there and get right on top of those. This is so convenient. It's so easy. Really should have videoed that, because I don't think you guys realize how hard it is to get a Subaru stereo out, at least in these newer ones. It's a little bit excessive. Okay, so not only when you pop that panel out, you got two bolts up there, but you also got one, look, here and here, go in through the side. So this panel I already had off, got that one out. This one's dug deeper back in because of the way the dash layout is. You have to take the glove compartment out, dig back in there. Then on top of that, your climate controls are ran by cables, so you have to disconnect those along with the 50 plugs that are back in there. So let me dig these out, and there they are. There everything is. But now I can see those bolts plain as day. I thought I was going to be able to get in there and get on those, and I was wrong. There's not enough room to get snake a wrench back in there to even do that. But I have the battery disconnected now, so I should be able to undo this plug. There you go. But I definitely won't be putting this back together today. I'm going to need about 50 more extensions to get in there.
Got him!
That's gonna be the end of this video. If you guys like this video, drop a comment, let me know. Give me a like, thumbs up, give me a thumbs down. I don't care. Because your mom approves.
see you on the next episode.
Unwrapped.
Did mommy bath you? Huh? I'm trying to edit. Oh my. Oh, hi. Oh, hey. You're all wet. Don't care. No cares. I think I found her. Oh, you all clean? Huh? So happy now. Do we say bye-bye to the people? No? No bye-byes.